You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Today, court documents reveal more details about a Northeastern Oklahoma murder investigation.
One thing about the morning cloud cover is it does trap in our heat. We're off to a great Tuesday morning start, but we've got a cold front coming. The latest from the Skywatch Weather Center.
Also, a look at how one South African farmer is using regenerative agriculture to fight climate change. All that and more coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thanks for joining us for the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. Court documents reveal more details about a Northeastern Oklahoma murder investigation. 2 people are accused in the shooting death of Tony Moran in Ottawa County. They are 51-year-old Jimmy Kelly and 52-year-old Charlena Kelly. Court documents say during his interrogation, Jimmy Kelly revealed he had been having an affair with Moran, and he and his wife Charlena had met with her the night of her death. Jimmy Kelly says he handed Moran a gun and that she shot herself in the head. In grief, Jimmy says he then shot her in the torso. Jimmy Kelly is facing federal charges of first-degree murder in Indian country and using a firearm to commit a violent act. Charlena Kelly is held in the Ottawa County Jail on 1 count of accessory to a felony. A suspected St. Louis area serial killer is now in jail. 25-year-old Perez Reed is accused of a crime spree across Missouri and Kansas in September, when 6 people were killed and 2 others injured. Authorities say when he was arrested Friday, he had in his possession a .40 caliber pistol that matched shell casings found at the scene of the shootings. Reed is charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, 1 count of first-degree assault, and 3 counts of armed criminal action. He's also charged with interstate transportation of a firearm with intent to commit a felony. Reed has denied hurting anyone. The motive for the shootings is still unclear. Authorities say a suspect killed by Joplin police exchanged gunfire with officers. Joplin Police Department revealed that information in a news release on Monday. The department says officers responding to an assault call on October 30th shot the suspect, Shane Endicott, when he displayed a gun, resulting in an exchange of gunfire with the officers. 3 officers involved were Officer Pete Box, Officer Daryl Klink, and Sergeant Jason Stump. JPD says all 3 officers remain on paid administrative leave. Cox Health is now offering COVID-19 vaccinations for kids ages 5 and older. In our region, that means parents can schedule a vaccination appointment at the Lamar and Monette Cox locations. Medical Director of Pediatrics at Cox Health said in a news release, quote, "We are pleased to see this expansion of COVID-19 vaccinations for younger children, as we believe this will make a significant difference in protecting their health." Kansas Governor Laura Kelly is proposing to eliminate the Kansas sales tax on groceries. The plan outlined by the governor would save many families hundreds of dollars a year and consumers a total of $450 million annually. Governor Kelly unveiled her proposal 3 days after Attorney General Derek Schmidt called on the GOP-controlled legislature to reduce or eliminate the tax next year. Schmidt hopes to unseat Kelly in the 2022 governor's race. Lawmaker support will likely make reducing or ending the 6.5% state sales tax on groceries a top issue when the legislature reconvenes in January. Kansas has the 2nd highest state sales tax rate on groceries. Veterans Day is Thursday. It's a chance for Americans to give thanks and honor the men and women who've served our country. Yesterday, Cub Scouts Pac 151 in Pittsburgh got a lesson on the significance of the holiday when they visited the Pitt State Veterans Memorial.
I think, obviously the military isn't going to be for everyone, but at the bare minimum, I think by exposing children to the importance of what veterans do, it at the very minimum is going to show them how much these individuals deserve our respect.
To learn about area Veterans Day events as well as deals area businesses are offering veterans and service members, you can go to our website at koamnewsnow.com. A rare Amir Leopard cub has made her public debut at the Santa Barbara Zoo. The almost 3-month-old cub, Marta, will be slowly eased into her outdoor home, and her time in front of the public will be slowly increased in the following week or 2 with mom Ajax nearby. Amir leopards are native to Northeast Asia and are critically endangered, and that's according to the World Wildlife Fund. Amir leopards are the most endangered of all the big cats, with fewer than 100 remaining in the wild. Jumping kitty there. They're also known as the Far East leopard, the Manchurian leopard or the Korean leopard. Marta is the first Amir leopard to be born at the Santa Barbara Zoo in more than 20 years.
That's pretty cool.
She's a little sweetie.
Great. I love that. Come on, Mom. Check this out. Look over here, Mom.
So much to explore.
So early this morning, I was outside having a cup of coffee, and there was it reminds me, just because it's a baby, there was a baby raccoon and a mom, and they were across the street, my neighbors. And yeah, the baby was like, whoa, what's this over here? Oh my God, Mom, look at this. It's a tree. And of course, Mom's just kind of dragging along, like, come on, let's go. No, come on, let's go this way. It was great. Most of that little baby cub reminds me of. He's like, oh, there's so many cool things out here. Mom's like, I'm exhausted. I'm taking a nap. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Mom, look at this, grass and hay.
Hey,
This
let's
is
play.
Awesome. That's great. Live look outside of Television City, rather an overcast Tuesday morning, but the nice thing about the clouds, traps in that heat. We already sit at 58 degrees in Joplin. This wind has been really interesting because we got a front rolling through from the northwest, and what it does is, as that wind begins to shift, it almost becomes like an eerily calm outside. You know, yesterday we were blowing 15 to 20 miles per hour, and just like that, as that front rolls through, everything just calms down. And don't need to worry about anything severe. Like I said, I was outside of the mothership here when it actually shifted on us, and it was crazy how I just got still as can be. Even the birds stopped singing there for a little bit. 56 in Chanute, 54 in Neosho. Let's roll 55 in Miami, 53 in Fort Scott. Remember, that's from the sweeping radar. Nothing hitting the ground right there, but it does illustrate our heavier cloud cover. Eventually, we'll begin to break up like what we're seeing out to the west. Not as much sunshine as what we got yesterday, but still, we'll get enough to warm us up into the high 60s as the jet stream for the second consecutive day sweeps off the Pacific, grabs some of this warm air down to the southwest, and moves right through us. And so even with the cloud cover, we'll talk about high 60s, probably scrape out a 70 every now and then. Now, we are going to see a little precipitation later on this afternoon and evening. When I say little precipitation, we're just talking about some sprinkles that want to roll in from the south right there. And even if you got nighttime plans, don't let that interfere. And by the time we get to the Wednesday morning commute, we're okay. It's really going to be Wednesday evening when you're on your way home, because this is where this develops. And we're talking about some pockets of heavy rain, lightning and thunder to go along with it. Everything's going to work from west to east. And as we clear out here on the west side of it, some much cooler temperatures. We'll be done with that by early Thursday morning. So it shouldn't interrupt us Thursday morning. But look at where we go, especially for our overnight lows, down to the 40s, and then for Friday into Saturday, ooh, hello, freezing point.
It get chilly. Up next, new therapy for heart failure patients may mean new hope. And later, a community comes together to help one of their own deal with a cancer resurgence. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. More than 6 million adults in the U.S. have heart failure, a chronic condition where the heart is not able to pump enough blood and oxygen to the body. But there may be hope for people who have sudden or gradual onset of heart failure symptoms.
After months of struggling with shortness of breath, Robert Dye knew something was wrong.
I couldn't lay flat on my back because I couldn't breathe at night.
In October, he was admitted to the hospital and diagnosed with acute decompensated heart failure. Cardiologists at The Ohio State University Richard M. Ross Heart Hospital say the 65-year-old is the first patient in the U.S. to get a new type of treatment for it.
I can actually feel my heart beating in my chest, which I wasn't able to do before.
A catheter was placed through a vein in his neck and into Dye's heart, where electrodes were used to stimulate a nerve. Doctors say early studies show this can increase how strong the heart beats to pump more blood without significantly raising a patient's heart rate.
By increasing the amount that the heart is naturally doing, we can then start to repair his heart using medications and other treatments that we have available.
Dr. Sita Ramesh Amani and his team performed Dye's investigative procedure. While the treatment is still being studied, he says this could be a huge step forward in helping heart failure patients.
Traditional therapies aren't well designed to increase the amount of blood flow from the heart. The couple that we do have out there have a lot of side effects.
Days after the procedure, before leaving the hospital, Dye says he was able to walk a mile.
It gave me a second chance at life. If it hadn't been done, I wouldn't be here today.
A chance at more time with his great-grandchild.
A clinical trial is expected to continue for the next couple of years at the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center. After that, doctors hope to expand it to become more of a standard therapy. A young pizza maker in the Netherlands has combined two of his passions, pizza and skateboarding. Take a look. Saman Flowerboy Kashbari makes skateboards out of his pizza. All right, he dabs the pizza so it doesn't go moldy, lets it dry for a week before sealing it with chemicals. Then he lets that process dry for about 10 days to harden. Kashbari is also making other things from pizza, stools, tables, or pictures of real pizza to hang up. That's actually really cool. As long as he can seal it in so it doesn't get moldy and stinky. Yeah.
No, thank you. Yeah, the whole idea that it takes 10 days to harden. We're talking about the lacquer and what it's sealed in, right? Not the pizza.
But it basically is.
No, I think I'm good.
So if you were to break it open, would it still be edible?
I'm not allowed to skateboard anyway. I've already been threatened with my life if I get on a longboard, so.
Well, you have a tendency to
out.
break your ankles and stuff, so.
I mean, to each his own. Good for that dude.
I like the pizza stool. That'd be really cool to have in a pizza joint. Stools made out of pizza.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm just not catching up on this story. Do you ever have one of those revelation moments where you're reading something and all of a sudden the light bulb goes off and you go, now I remember. That's what just happened to me as I walked over here. So I'm kind of lost right now. Live look over 7th and Orange Line, 58 degrees is where we stand. Not lost weather-wise. Don't get me wrong. I'm good to go on that. Humidity, 72%. We'll see that steadily drop. That'll work its way all the way down to probably about 40% by this afternoon. Very, very dry to begin our day. But eventually, we are going to pick up some light sprinkles. 58, as I mentioned in Joplin, 56 in Chanute. Let's roll 55 in Miami, a pair of 54s in Neosho and Anderson. So it's actually warmer on this Tuesday morning than what we experienced yesterday morning. Thing is, cloud cover trapped in all our heat from yesterday. Got up into the mid-70s yesterday. I mean, just absolutely gorgeous combo of the sun and that high south wind. Now, speaking of the wind, it's eerily calm as the wind shifts. Eventually, it's actually going to come in from the north here as the front is beginning to progress up to the northwest right there. You can kind of tell the dividing line there on the color contour. So the wind gets a little bit better today, and our temperature is still not too bad. So what's going to happen is this high pressure system, as it moves toward the Mississippi, that's what kind of clears a little bit of our cloud cover out. We get peaks of sunshine today, kind of in and out. We're going to play a little hide and seek with it. But, I mean, we're going to make it up into the high 60s, probably scrape out of 70 every now and then. That's not going to be out of the realm of possibility. And like I said, evening sprinkles, not going to be too bad. Now, overnight, we're going to have the increased cloud cover. We'll go mostly cloudy as the wind subsides and the rain builds. And when we talk about the rain building, we'll keep all eyes out to the west for Wednesday, and because Wednesday afternoon is when we really begin to see that front take place through central Kansas. It won't be on us really till Wednesday evening, and then it'll carry us from Wednesday night all the way through into early Thursday morning. Done by the Thursday morning commute, but much cooler temperatures by the time we're done with it, as our daily highs will only be in the 50s and overnight lows dropping into the 40s, and then Friday into Saturday all the way down to the freezing mark. Be back with more KOM Morning News on Fox 14 right after this.
It's time to honor today's four-state hero. Sean Folks served in the U.S. Navy. A native of Asbury, Missouri, Folks earned the Navy League Award and Good Conduct Award. We are proud to thank third-class Petty Officer Sean Folks, today's four-state hero. Plainfield, Massachusetts residents are helping one of their own deal with a resurgence of cancer by making sure she can still find enjoyment through her favorite hobby, baking.
Driving through Plainville these days, it's hard not to notice the yellow hearts painted with the purple MJ. MJ stands for Malia Jasic, a happy, active 13-year-old girl now battling cancer for the second time.
I miss soccer and school and my friends. I miss a lot of things.
Malia was first diagnosed nearly 9 years ago. She was declared cancer-free and went back to playing softball, soccer, tennis, and basketball until 7 months ago when the unthinkable happened.
When she relapsed, it was a very big hit. It was just like the rug got pulled out from under her after fighting so hard to get where she was.
Malia has now turned to baking to reach her happy place. The sweet treats creating such a buzz that she won an online baking competition against adults.
I like making cream puffs and macarons.
The Plainville community rallying behind her, holding a Malia Strong fundraiser Saturday at King Philip Middle School. Half of the proceeds from those bright yellow hearts go toward building Malia her very own kitchen.
The double oven is gonna go right here.
Malia gave 7 News a tour of her soon-to-come state-of-the-art space.
Baking always gets my mind off things, and I go outside and play soccer sometimes, and that's helpful to get my mind off this treatment.
It's a welcome distraction for the whole family as they support Malia through a difficult treatment process that they hope will beat this cancer for good.
She's going to have her own kitchen in her house, so she has a place that she can go and just get away from her parents and the worries and the world in general, and just go to her happy place and bake whatever she wants.
And for that, the family says they can't thank this community enough.
It means the world to us, really.
Another half hour of news and weather is just ahead. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14, the Foo Fighters learn to fly over to the big screen with a comedy horror movie. And knowing a certain hand gesture could save a life. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. We'll be right back.
State's most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:30. Let's take a look at today's top stories. Court documents reveal more details about a Northeastern Oklahoma murder investigation. 2 people are accused in the shooting death of Tony Moran in Ottawa County. They are 51-year-old Jimmy Kelly and 52-year-old Charlena Kelly. Court documents show that during his interrogation, Jimmy Kelly revealed he had been having an affair with Moran, and he and his wife Charlena had met with her the night of her death. Jimmy Kelly says he handed Moran a gun and that she shot herself in the head. In grief, Jimmy says he then shot her in the torso. Jimmy Kelly is facing federal charges of first-degree murder in Indian country and using a firearm to commit a violent act. Charlena Kelly is held in the Ottawa County Jail on 1 count of accessory to a felony. A suspected St. Louis area serial killer is now in jail. 25-year-old Perez Reed is accused of a crime spree across Missouri and Kansas in September when 6 people were killed and 2 others injured. Authorities say when he was arrested Friday, he had in his possession a .40 caliber pistol that matched shell casings found at the scene of the shootings. Reed is charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, 1 count of first-degree assault, and 3 counts of armed criminal action. He's also charged with interstate transportation of a firearm with intent to commit a felony. Reed has denied hurting anyone. The motive for the shootings is still unclear. Authorities say a suspect killed by Joplin police exchanged gunfire with officers. Joplin Police Department revealed that information in a news release on Monday. Department says officers responding to an assault call on October 30th shot the suspect, Shane Endicott, when he displayed a gun, resulting in an exchange of gunfire with the officers. 3 officers involved were Officer Pete Box, Officer Daryl Klink, and Sergeant Jason Stump. The JPD says all 3 officers remain on paid administrative leave. A new website promotes stories about the people of Pittsburgh. On Monday, the Imagine Pittsburgh Committee and Limelight Marketing launched the website pitcan.com. Officials say the goal of the initiative is to highlight the positive things happening in the city. And they hope it'll encourage more people to move to Pittsburgh.
To move into a community when they see that, want to come and be a part of it. And so that's what the website does for me. It shows and it oozes with what's going on here. And before, I think we were missing that opportunity because we were showing that to the world, and that's what this does. This shows that there's something happening here, and people want to be a part of that.
Also, as part of the initiative, there are Facebook and Instagram accounts under the handle PitCan. It was a good call by the Imagine Pittsburgh Committee to bring in Limelight, seen as the company is the 2021 Kansas Woman-Owned Business Professional Service Firm of the Year. Kansas Department of Commerce and the Office of Minority and Women Business Development issue the award for outstanding achievements of women-owned businesses across various industries. The company is owned by Brandy Johnson. She started Limelight in 2015 with a focus on digital marketing, and today the team has grown to more than 20 people specializing in e-commerce for clientele across the country.
We've built a really great team here at Limelight. We've got great people who are very talented and passionate about what they do. Every day I sit in meetings with them and think, wow, I'm really lucky to work with this group of people. And I think the contributions that they make on a daily basis have enabled us to earn an award like this.
Limelight's clients include Key Apparel, Russell Cellular, Backyard Discovery, Creative Candles, Progressive Products, and Architecture Woodworking Institute, among others. Students at McDonald County, Missouri High School are using their STEM skills to bring comfort to a classmate. The students came up with a plan to make the classmate's wheelchair more comfortable.
Great individual projects can come out from spotting things that are, national or even statewide, but things that impact people that are here that you can actually see the joy whenever they see the finished product and see how they look at our own designs to give feedback in real time to what we're doing. That is always an amazing experience that we can have.
Monday is National STEM Day, a day that spotlights the importance of science, technology, engineering, and math classes in schools nationwide. Joplin CFI Truckload is expanding. The company announced Monday it is reorganized into one company with 5 distinct services. With the acquisition of UPS Freight and Transport America, CFI now offers 3 asset-based services: truckload, dedicated, and temp control, as well as 2 non-asset services, Mexico and logistics. Kansas Governor Laura Kelly is proposing to eliminate the Kansas sales tax on groceries. The plan outlined by the governor would save many families hundreds of dollars a year and consumers a total of $450 million annually. Governor Kelly unveiled her proposal 3 days after Attorney General Derek Schmidt called on the GOP-controlled legislature to reduce or eliminate the tax next year. Schmidt hopes to unseat Kelly in the 2022 governor's race. Lawmakers' support will likely make reducing or ending the 6.5% state sales tax on groceries a top issue when the legislature reconvenes in January. Kansas has the 2nd highest state sales tax rate on groceries. What was once an old and out-of-service substation is now a new park for Baxter Springs families to enjoy the outdoors. Liberty Utilities donated the site to the city when it decided to build a new substation down the road. The new Liberty Park features green space, some areas for folks to relax, and a butterfly statue. The new park is at 230 West 12th Street in Baxter Springs.
Nice little place.
Yeah, I'll have to go check that out. Celebrate the beauty of family in all of its forms. It's not just about biological relatives. Tuesday is World Adoption Day. November 9th is about raising global awareness and support for families from all walks of life who found loved ones through adoption or are looking to do so. People across the globe are encouraged to share how adoption may have affected them or the life of a loved one.
Tad bit important to the Hayslip household? Tad bit?
The Bach-Collins household as well.
No, I didn't know there was a World Adoption Day. Yes, folks, near and dear to the Hayslip household. I'll leave it at that. Live look over 7th and Range Light. A little sliver shifting through right there. Of course, sunset or rising off to the east, but I thought that was kind of a cool shot there with the cloud cover. Joplin sits at 58 degrees right now, and the wind, that front moved through, shifted in Joplin, so absolutely calm. And as it does move through, as it'll eventually reach into southwest Missouri right there, it becomes like super calm, eerily calm, very, very quickly. 56 in Chanute, 55 in Miami. How about 54 in both Anderson and in Monette? A little bit overcast skies this morning. The blue, that's from the sweeping radar. That's just reflectivity, so nothing hitting the ground. Starting to break up just a little bit to the west, not for our highlighted counties, but an indicator of what's to come. And the reason that that's happening is we got a nice high pressure system that's hanging over the Midwest right there, indicated in the brighter blue. And as it moves through, it'll part some of our clouds, and we'll have some afternoon, early evening sunshine. It'll play hit or miss with it. It's not going to be as sunny as what it was yesterday, but at the same point in time, still going to be delightful temperature-wise, as we'll be up in, that's if I got out of the way, be into the high 60s. We'll see a 70 every now and then a little evening sprinkles. That's about all it will amount to. And then overnight, we'll have gradually increasing clouds as our wind will once again die down. But there's a hit or miss. Like I said, sunshine going come and go for a little bit. And everything that we see rain-wise moves in from the south. Very, very light and very sporadic as well. Kind of intermittent, if you will. No lightning, no thunder involved with this. Then as we get into Wednesday, we turn our attention out to the west. This is what we'll focus on for tomorrow, as the low pressure system replaces that high that we were looking at that's moving through. And as it does, brings us some good heavy rain for Wednesday night into Thursday morning. And this will have lightning, thunder, and the whole nine, anywhere from about 3/4 to an inch of accumulation. It's going to push out by the time we get to Thursday travel time, so that'll be some welcome relief. But look at our temperatures, much, much cooler on Thursday and Friday than what we've had past couple of days. And then from Friday night into Saturday, sitting just below the freezing mark. We'll be back with more KOAM Morning News on Fox 14 right after this. This morning on the KOAM News Now Facebook page and our morning Insta poll, what's about your job? Take this guy for example, Albert Weber. He works on a farm. He's 91 years old. Been farming since he was about 6 is what he figures. Of course, he's seen a lot of change in that time. In fact, 91 years old, Albert just recently learned how to drive a new combine. Our question to you from Albert's inspiring story is, do you love your job? And I love this, 69% of you say yes, you do love your job. You can connect each and every morning, either via our Facebook page or go directly to the Insta poll, koamnewsnow.com/vote. Time to check out what's going on in the world of entertainment. Rick Damigella, he took the day off. We got David Daniel now.
Had this experience before.
Star Wars fans may have to wait a bit longer for director Patty Jenkins' Rogue Squadron movie. The Wonder Woman director was supposed to begin production on Squadron next year, but according to The Hollywood Reporter, Jenkins' schedule conflicts have delayed that indefinitely. Rogue Squadron has a release date of December 22, 2023. It's scheduled to be the first theatrical Star Wars movie since The Rise of Skywalker in 2019.
How long do we have? 7 days.
Eternals will be around longer than that after one of the biggest opening weekends of the year. Star Salma Hayek praised the diversity of the Marvel movie's cast.
The fact that we are diverse just makes the family all the more interesting and rich.
Foo Fighters are headed to the big screen for the horror comedy Studio 666. They'll play themselves moving into a creepy LA mansion to record an album, but supernatural forces there could make it their last recording session. Studio 666 is due in theaters February 25th. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Patty Jenkins, that they were talking about at the beginning from director of Wonder Woman, they were talking about Star Wars. She grew up in Lawrence, Kansas, as a matter of fact. We'll be back with more KOAM Morning News on Fox 14 right after this.
Starting Monday, the U.S. is now allowing previously banned international visitors if they are fully vaccinated. Tourists from some 33 countries, including Britain, most of Europe, and China, had been blocked for nearly 20 months because of the pandemic. Elise Preston shows us how the change is giving a much-needed boost to many American businesses.
The return of international travelers is not only reuniting loved ones.
How are you feeling right now?
I don't have words.
It's also reconnecting millions of tourists to U.S. industries that depend on their dollars, including airlines. Delta has seen a 450% increase in international bookings, and hotels like the Fitzpatrick Grand Central in Manhattan are once again welcoming foreign visitors.
How are you feeling?
We're excited. We really are.
Owner John Fitzpatrick saw business drop 90% at one point, but now is expecting a surge of holiday guests.
Our business for the first 2 weeks of December is greater than it was in the same month in 2019.
The U.S. Travel Association says the decline of international visitors during the pandemic has led to a loss of $300 billion and 1 million American jobs.
But now hiring is ramping up, including in U.S. towns along the Mexican border, like Southern California's San Ysidro, where 80% of tourists are from Mexico. Big cities are also getting a boost. About half of all tourism spending in New York comes from international travelers, according to NYC and Company. It's a similar story in San Francisco.
In 2019, just to give you an example, 63% of all tourism spending in San Francisco is by international visitors. And that has been shut down since the beginning of the pandemic.
Foreign travelers tend to stay longer and spend more money. Two big reasons why the tourism industry is welcoming them back. Elise Preston, CBS News, New York.
We'll be right back with more after this, but first let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell.
We've got social media saving the day. A teenage girl rescued after spotted giving a viral hand gesture, meaning "I need help." Jeremy Roth has the amazing story in today's Take a Look at This.
Authorities in Kentucky say a viral hand gesture learned on TikTok helped lead to the rescue of an alleged abduction victim. Laurel County deputies say a 16-year-old North Carolina girl who had been taken across state lines was spotted in a vehicle by motorists on the highway.
There was some people behind her that noticed that she was making hand gestures that signifies for "I need help."
Authorities responded, stopping the vehicle and eventually reuniting the teen girl with her family. They say the hand gesture originated from a TikTok video that has since gone viral. One advocacy group is praising the use of social media to spread this universal language of emergency assistance.
As a society, we're paying attention. We're taking care of each other. So we can't do it if we don't speak the same language.
A school day in Canada turned surreal when a giant moose smashed through a classroom window in Saskatoon. Only one minor injury was reported and all students were safely removed. Conservation officers say the moose was dazed from its grand entrance, but they were able to tranquilize and remove it to be safely released outside the city. Finally, a moose on the loose in South Dakota showed its school spirit by taking a victory lap on a football field at South Dakota State. Authorities worked to wrangle the moose, but not before it got to the 40, the 30, the 20, it's going for the touch. Okay, well, it went out of bounds. Close enough. The surreal moment happened one day before the school's annual game against their rivals, the North Dakota Bison. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Let's take a look at our current conditions over 7th and Rangeline. 58 degrees is where we stand in Joplin. Very pleasant Tuesday morning. 55 in Miami, 56 right now in Chanute, and already 57 in Carthage. It's because of our cloud cover that developed overnight, able to trap in our heat from Monday, starting to clear out just a little bit in the west. And that's why we'll eventually see just a little bit of sunshine. Still do have that warm swath that runs through the 4 states right there. Recipient of some southwestern temperatures that the jet stream grabs off the Pacific and then feeds our way. High pressure, that means we're going to play hide and seek with the sunshine as everything progresses toward the Mississippi. Then we'll throw some low pressure in behind this that will eventually result in some rain. Before we get there, still delightful for the middle of November as we push up close to 70 degrees. And anything that we do see precipitation-wise today are just going to be sprinkles, light rain. That'll be about it. Overnight, then we'll pay attention to what develops out to the west, because in central Kansas, after everything moves up from the south today, like I said, it's nothing to write home about. Tomorrow is where we see the low pressure develop some actual thunderstorm activity. So this will not only bring us thunder and lightning, but some bouts of heavy rain as well into Wednesday night. And that's going to have the thunder, the lightning, no wind, no hail. So we stay out of the severe thunderstorm risk category. And eventually clearing off there by the time we get into Thursday's commute. As far as the 7-day forecast goes, much cooler temperatures behind the storm system that'll drop us down to the 50s all the way into the weekend, and overnight lows close to the freezing mark in between Friday and Saturday. We'll be back and wrap up this edition of the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14 right after this.
Sunday.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Here's what's happening today. The FBI has joined the criminal investigation into the deaths of 8 people at the Astro World Music Festival last Friday in Houston. According to witnesses, the victims were crushed when the crowd of 50,000 people surged toward the stage as Travis Scott took the stage. Several lawsuits have been filed against the rapper. Overseas travelers are once again streaming into the U.S. Yesterday, the nation reopened its borders to fully vaccinated visitors from 33 nations. The travel ban had been in place since the coronavirus took hold in March of 2020. And 4 astronauts returned to Earth last night after a 6-month stay aboard the International Space Station. Their SpaceX Dragon capsule splashed down in the Gulf of Mexico about 8 hours after it undocked from the ISS. Its crew included 2 American astronauts, as well as 1 from France and another from Japan. Let's check in with Michael with a final look at your forecast.
A nice looking Tuesday, temperatures around 70 degrees. We'll play hide and seek with the sun. And then remember, we got some light sprinkles headed our way for the evening, and then the rain really picks up in earnest by the time we get into Wednesday evening, and will carry us all the way from Wednesday night into Thursday morning.
Take a look at this sleepy walrus. Her name is Freya. She was caught sleeping on a submarine on October 28th. Talk about an unusual place to take a nap. Hopefully Freya didn't interfere in anything the submarine needed to do. The video was shared on social media and caught the attention of quite a few people. She thought, why not?
Not a bad gig if you can get it. Thank you so much for letting us put the good in your morning. We'll be back with more news and weather when we see you at noon.
Have a great morning and an even better day.
The 4 states